I need to dye my hair.
So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about the psychology behind hair color addiction. Hair dyeing is the practice of changing your hair color through semi, demi, or permanent hair dyes. People have been coloring their hair since ancient times, where the Egyptians used plant extracts such as henna to dye their hair. However, the first modern permanent hair dye was accidentally created by a professor named William Henry Perkins in 1863. Hair dyeing became very common by the late 1960s, and by the 1970s, public sentiments around hair dyeing finally began to change. Today, almost everyone you personally know would have at least colored their hair once in their lives.
Oh God, it looks so good.
Now, just because you constantly change your hair color does not automatically make it an addiction. You have to consider the reasons behind why you are doing it. For example, you could be doing it simply for fun, or to be creative, or because you get bored easily. So it is very common and natural for individuals to dye their hair for a change, to switch up their look, whether that's done through hair dyes or colorful wigs, or even to cover up their grays. Hair coloring is also everywhere in pop culture, all over the internet and social media, whether that is on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. You will come across amazing hairdressers, tutorials, or celebrities and individuals absolutely rocking every single color on the color spectrum that you can think of. But can some people become addicted to dyeing their hair, where the process of hair coloring becomes compulsive and obsessive in nature? Why does this happen? And are you addicted to hair color? It is obviously natural for individuals to change up their hair color for the fun of it, because they are bored, or just for the sake of it. But this video is more focused on the obsessive need to constantly change your hair color, especially when needing to go back and forth between light and dark colors and then back again, as I myself have done numerous times in the past over the years. So basically, the inspiration for this video is my own self. As you may have seen through my hair dyeing videos on this YouTube channel, or if you know me personally, in the recent past, I used to be someone who basically loved to constantly change up my hair color, especially going from dark to light and then back to dark again within weeks of dyeing it. This would also include bleach. So I basically wanted to understand myself and wanted to understand his behavior and the psychology behind it. So I did a little bit of research to understand why I wanted to keep coloring my hair. And I also wanted to create this video at the same time in case you were also curious or are in the same boat as I was. So hair coloring, as stated on Wikipedia, is the process of changing the color of your hair. It basically works by coating the strands of your hair when using a non-permanent color, or penetrating your hair cuticles, entering the hair cortex, and bonding with the hair when using a permanent hair dye, as stated on the Wella website. Moving on to addiction. What is addiction? So in a nutshell, as stated on the Health Direct website, addiction is a physical or psychological need to do, take, or use something to the point where it can be harmful to you. An individual can be addicted to almost anything, including drugs, alcohol, gambling, shopping, video games, the internet, social media, computers, or even work, among other things. Being addicted to the process of hair coloring is no different. There are a lot of layers that go into the causes and reasons for addiction, such as an individual's biological factors, their psychological factors, and social as well as environmental factors. Additionally, when taking certain substances or engaging in certain activities that give a person a lot of pleasure, their brain can release endorphins and dopamine, and over time these feelings can become addictive. So essentially, the person becomes addicted to how their brain feels when engaging in that specific activity. When studying the factors more in depth, addiction can even be seen as an individual's temporary means to escape their suffering. The question is, can a person really be addicted to dyeing their hair? The desire to enhance and change up our looks is very normal and natural as human beings. For example, we love switching up on the clothes we wear, such as the style or clothing colors, makeup colors, accessories, bags, jewelry, hairstyles. So in that context, the desire to switch up and change one's hair color is only natural and expected. A few years ago, Kylie Jenner on her website stated that she has always had an addiction to changing her hair color as it made her feel like a new person each time and that she loves feeling different. She also stated that she constantly changes her hair in order to avoid feeling like she's going back to a moment in time like a year ago. So this suggests that there could be an emotional link attached to wanting to dye your hair constantly, such as wanting to be different or wanting to stand out from the crowd, as seen here in Kylie's case. When it comes to the potential emotional reasons why people may dye their hair in the first place, firstly, hair is one of the ways in which we can present ourselves and display our sense of style. So hair color can basically impact on how we want others to view us, as well as how we perceive ourselves. Secondly, dyeing our hair can give us a sense of control because we have complete control over the choice of color for our hair. So in situations where we feel a lot of things are out of our control, coloring our hair can enable us to feel like we are in control of some things. Thirdly, according to the Daily Cougar, a Google survey of 32 students found that 96.9% stated that they had modified their body as a coping mechanism. From those, 13 had dyed their hair. This shows that hair coloring can also be used as a way to cope with external stresses or circumstances and situations taking place in our lives by providing immediate relief. Finally, hair color can also boost one's self-confidence after attaining a fresh color. Just like anything and everything else, hair coloring can also come with its benefits. Yes, you heard that correctly. There are some pros to dyeing your hair. As you may have heard the phrase about change being as good as a holiday, sometimes change is good and change is even required, which can be attained by changing your hair color and giving you a brand new look. This can also boost one's self-confidence and allow them to try something new. Additionally, it can be a means to pamper yourself and a self-care activity which everyone deserves. And most importantly, it's fun and life can get boring without a bit of color. And when using the right products or going to the right hairdressers and right professionals, your hair could remain just as healthy as it normally is along with the new added color. However, the issue lies with the obsessive or compelling need to constantly change it up in order to fill an emotional need or void, such as relying on the hair color to feel better on the inside or to gain control and constantly relying on the hair color to gain a sense of relief. Additionally, it can also become very expensive and damaging to your hair if done using bad quality products or too frequently. So it is important to do your research and use the right kind of products for your hair that are good or high in quality and not overdoing it, as overdoing it can lead to hair becoming brittle and prone to breakage and split ends. So linking the reasons behind why individuals color their hair and the benefits of it as mentioned earlier, they may get addicted to hair coloring in order to reap these benefits more frequently, and also as a result of being addicted to how having a new hair color makes them feel and how their brain feels or responds after getting a fresh new color or look. Understanding these psychological links between your emotions and addiction to coloring your hair, using alternatives such as colored wigs or hair extensions, and focusing on giving your hair a break by using products and treatments to repair your damaged hair can be good distractions to avoid overcoloring your hair. And I would recommend getting professional help if you see it turning into an addiction. In conclusion, the need to frequently change your hair color can have pros or benefits as well as cons. It can be an addictive behavior or potentially related to other mental health issues, but most likely is harmless in itself, and playing with color can be like switching up your clothes or makeup for the fun of it. Basically, it is more important to understand and consider the motivation behind the need to frequently change your hair color, and it does not qualify as an addiction on its own unless the hair color is causing psychological or physical harm to the individual. So that basically comes to the end of the video. Please do give me your feedback and thoughts around this topic as well, and your personal experiences, if any, and if you would like to share it down in the comments below so we can all learn from one another and grow together. But I do hope that you enjoyed watching this video and got some value out of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.